up, players? My name is Mike Doherty from Chiptooth Gaming, and you're watching Completely Consensual Episode 7 right here on Chiptooth Gaming. Now, alongside me today for this long-abated discussion, I'd say, is Hot Cheeto Papi, the illustrious Hot Cheeto Papi.
Yes.
Now, you can, let's plug your stuff now. Hot Cheeto Papi, also known...
Hot Cheeto Pipe.
Pipey. Hot Cheeto Pipe. Backup name, just in case, your branding gets stolen.
True.
Remember, get up on the mic. Don't be afraid to get up on the mic.
Okay.
Jaime, I live with him. Just a rundown. We did a whole episode on, drag. So you can go check that out. That's episode, 3 or 4.
We talked about a lot more than just drag.
Oh, yeah. It definitely was a lot more. Yeah. Some would say the podcast was too long. But Jaime, where can people see your stuff?
You can see, I'm most active on Instagram and Snapchat. So Instagram, hotcheeto.papi. Yes, it is a copy of Drake's Instagram. And Snapchat is JIMEE. They will all be linked somewhere. And then I also have a YouTube channel that isn't really running right now, but I'm working on it. It is also Hot Cheeto Papi. YouTube.com/Hot Cheeto Papi. We have a video together.
I don't think that you have that URL.
Yes,
I don't think it's hot. You got the vanity URL?
If you type that in, it'll show up.
Interesting. Didn't know that.
But anyway, the last video I uploaded was...
That was the last one?
Yeah, it's 7 months ago.
Yeah, so this has been dormant. A dormant YouTube channel.
What is up, I'm semi-proud of. The last video we did, I'm very proud of. Everything else, but my stuff will get better. It is getting better. I have a lot
honestly,
of ideas.
The video that we did was a really solid YouTube episode.
Of all my videos, it's done the best without because I have 2 videos that are semi-popular. One of them had 10,000 views, but that's just because I was writing a drama wave, and then the other one was something that a lot of people are going to be searching up. Yeah. But that one did really well. It has almost 200 views now. Yeah,
it's good. Just for you, those of you who don't know, I'm probably one of the most uncultured people that there is walking on the most. I got that title. But I don't I hear a song, I know the song, but or sometimes I know the song depending on the genre. But pop is one of my biggest holes, and I think in my knowledge.
You have a big pop
my
hole.
My second biggest hole, yeah. So Jaime just kind of runs down these pop songs with me, and then I basically have to name the song and then name the artist, which I
iconic pop songs and iconic pop.
Yeah, most people would know.
Madonna was on there, and he didn't know that.
No, so that just shows where I'm at with the whole pop music genre. So go check that out, Hot Cheeto Papi, on YouTube. It's awesome, awesome video. He's gonna be doing great stuff. I'm excited to see where it goes from there. Now, just some housekeeping to get out of the way. 1, I got a Nintendo Switch. I caved. I'm here. My life is consumed by Legend of Zelda. We'll talk more about that this week. I think I'll have the second podcast up this week with Sean making his return. And then number 2, we are on iTunes. So go. We are finally on iTunes. Yes. I'm working on Google Play Store. It was probably the biggest pain to get on iTunes, but Completely Consensual on iTunes. Go subscribe to it. Go leave a review. Even if you just watch the YouTube videos, go ahead and go do that, because it really does help us out a lot when you leave reviews, and then it has subscribers as well.
I'm subscribed, so you should too.
I'm subscribed, you should
and I'm
too.
Great.
5-star reviews. I want to see nothing but 5s. But yeah, go do that. Like I said, even if you like watching it on or listening to it on SoundCloud, or if you like watching it on YouTube, just go do that, because that really helps us, especially with our listening audience. Now, also, don't be afraid to hit that little bell on YouTube, so you know when I update, when I upload a video. Also, some more stuff's gonna be rolling out very shortly. Just working out some of the kinks, doing some of the logos on our other shows that are gonna be coming. So I'm very excited about that. Now, Jaime.
Now,
why are you on this podcast?
Because I have a lot to... Just kidding. I don't know. Why am I on this podcast?
You do have a lot to say. So, Jaime, like I said, so the format for this show that I want to start doing is I want to have one movie review episode a week, or a month. A week. Oh, God.
One review.
Yeah, oh, God. I can't even hit the one podcast a week. One movie review, nerd culture movie review with Mike and Gamma. Then I want to do one episode a month with Jaime. Just like I said, Jaime's one of my favorite people. We just shoot the shit for an hour and a half, and it's a good time. And then number 3, a like gaming centric podcast, and then 4, a guest. So that could be either like I said, a comedian, or like I said, another game centric episode. But of course, we're not stuck to like one a week. I might do more than one a week, just depending on what there is to talk about. And today, there's a lot to talk about. This whole week has been really crazy.
Insane.
And that's why I wanted to have you on.
Because I'm insane.
Insane. So there was a shooting in the United States. Florida high school was shot up by a guy. And now every time this happens, there's a huge discussion on gun control. What should we do? What aren't we doing? Guns should be banned. Guns shouldn't be banned. We should give people more guns. Some people think.
Give every teacher in America a gun.
There's my favorite Dave Chappelle like joke is from one of his first stand-ups. It's like right after like a mass shooting, and he's like, and I was just waiting for like the head of the NRA to come out and like say something. And out of all the things I thought he'd say, I would never thought the motherfucker would double down on it and say give the teachers guns. And yet that was in like 2004, 2003, and we're here today having the same discussion.
Same exact
discussion of people think they should give the teachers guns. People are blaming video games. The president is saying, he's meeting with the video game industry execs, which he did, but there's no scientists on that board. So it's like there's
just
like
a
no
guy
facts.
saying,
Exactly.
I believe.
It's 2 people going, I believe, and then no actual like studies or facts.
Us too. Saying like, this is what we think.
Exactly. He has us 2 chuckleheads and then Ted Cruz in the room where like nothing's gonna get done. Like nothing's gonna get done. So it's like, so that's what's going on. And then we were having a very, I think, good discussion on like, is that the problem? So Jaime, like to you, like what's the solution to you? Like what? And again, it's not like just cut and dry. Like this is the solution. This is, guns are like, guns are bad and video games are evil, or guns are good and everyone else just needs more guns. Like it's not as like cut and dry like that. So in your opinion, again, just 2 chuckleheads talking, like what?
2 dudes being
what
guys.
To you, again, and this was important, just having a conversation about it. Not that anyone's particularly right or wrong, but it's just 2 guys that have ideas and just talking about it, because I think this is what's lost in it, because we're so easy yelling at each other. So to you, what's the issue to you, and where do you what's your solution?
Well, I think the issue is complicated, and not obviously the issue is mass shootings, but like the cause of that issue I feel is really complicated, but also not that complicated. I feel like, I don't know, it's like really sticky and like really like really not touchy, but like, I don't know. But I feel like a huge issue is mental health. I feel like that's one of the biggest factors. And then that goes into like people not really like, not that they don't care about mental health, but like mental health like being overlooked a lot in the US, or just like, I guess in the world in general. I don't know how, I'm speaking from a American point of view. Like, we're narcissistic. We're vain. This country, we only care about ourselves. But
true.
Like, I feel like mental health is something that's overlooked a lot. And like, personally speaking, I feel like it wasn't up until like recently that like even I started paying attention to my own mental health, like really. And I feel like that just goes to show how like I'm like, I don't know, like I overlooked my own mental health, so I can only imagine that like people overlook everyone else's mental health over. It's not seen as like,
if you're not even taking care of yourself, how are you gonna like take care of other people?
Exactly. If you can't take care of yourself, how are you gonna take care of somebody else? Gonna get in here. Let the music play. Just kidding.
Can't even understand that sentence.
But like, so mental health is clearly a big issue. And then something that you brought up that I'll let you kind of talk about, but is like, why has every single mass shooter been male, like ever? And I think that's right. Like, yeah. I don't remember like a woman being a mass shooter. Why is that?
And I'm sure. I mean, even then, I'm not even to say that I'm not even 100% sure that there's a female that has done a mass shooting. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't think of a time. Like we
And
know
even if there
every
is,
single
it's
shooter's name and picture
1-2 times out of how many times a year
Yeah.
does this happen?
all the time. And then also it's like a recent issue, which also you said this. I mean, maybe it's not. I mean, yeah, it definitely is recent because like Columbine was like the one that like
That to me, in my eyes and my perspective of like what's going on, Columbine kind of like kicked it off. Like
Yeah,
that's
like,
what got the
lit
ball
the
rolling.
fire.
Yeah, with just like almost these super suicides where it's like you're gonna go out and you're gonna kill as many people as you can and you're gonna like kill yourself because we don't have our hands on any of these people besides like the recent one like so we can't like do any real studies or to know like why they're doing it. Yeah, so like it's fairly recent. Like people weren't shooting each other up in the 70s or in the 60s, and like of course there were shootings, but like on this scale, these mass shootings, like I said, super suicides, it wasn't a thing. Like I said, maybe once, twice, but like at the rate that we're having this, it's unprecedented.
Crazy.
Yeah,
It's insane. And like also another part of the problem is the guns. Like if I'm not saying completely take away the guns from everyone, but like why do we need AK-47s? Like you don't need that to defend your house. You don't need that to go hunting. Like so why are all these like weapons, like not even just like a handgun or whatever, like why are these weapons so available to everyone? Like how old do you need? Like 18 to buy a gun? 21?
A pistol, and then 21 to buy something that's semi-automatic, automatic.
Why do we need semi-automatic weapons? For what? Like that's always been such a like a crazy thing to me. Like even like what was one of the first like shootings I remember? I don't know. They've been going on forever. Like literally Columbine, or like just anywhere where like there's a semi-automatic weapon being used. Like why? How did that person get a hold of it? And like why do we have that option to get a hold of semi-automatic weapons? And even like automatic weapons. Like what the hell? I personally,
guns are dope.
Huh?
I said because guns are dope.
True, but like I mean, I personally, I'm not a. Well, I would say I am against guns, but like I'm not gonna like. If you want to have a gun, that's you, and like have a gun.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, most things that we
but like
take stances on.
I personally wouldn't want to own a gun and wouldn't feel like safe owning just because I know who I am. Like I'd fucking shoot something or someone or myself.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like cleaning, like just
Kill
holding it
our dog.
and just kill someone. And so like I know I wouldn't feel safe having a gun. So like I personally don't see the need for guns, but like I see why like someone in Kentucky would want a gun or something.
Do you say like you?
No.
Oh,
I said someone in
I
like
could see like someone like you. Like,
no, someone in Kentucky like would
this.
want a gun. I'm surprised you don't have a gun. Just kidding. But yeah, so like there's a lot of factors going into this issue, and I feel like people in power, like they're overlooking a lot of them. Like people, like these teenagers that are like, oh, today was like a walkout in San Francisco actually, for
schools.
Like, yeah. They all marched to City Hall, I think, or yeah, I think that's where they marched to. And then so like, I feel like we should kind of be listening to the teenagers. I'm only 20 years old. We're both only 20.
Yeah.
But
don't
like,
know dick.
I feel like we should kind of be listening to the teenagers in high school because they're the ones that are like directly affected by it. And like I do like a school shooting has been my biggest fear. I can only imagine what it's like to like actually have it be going on and being like because I feel like when we were in high school it was an issue, but it didn't feel like something, like it wasn't tangible, kind of like you'd be like, oh, that happens, but like it
I don't
happens
know.
over there.
I still feel like it was very possible
Because there was a shooting. I lived like my high school was like not even like a 10-minute drive from the UC Santa Barbara shooting that happened like 5 years ago. And when that happened, it like terrified me. I didn't want to go outside. I like every time a car drove by, I was like, this is it. I'm dying. I'm getting shot for like a month. But I still never thought that like it was going to happen at my school. I was like, I'm safe for whatever reason, but like that's not the case. And I feel like now I'm more terrified of a school shooting happening and I'm not even in school. And like that terrifies me. So like, I don't know. I feel like we should be kind of like, obviously taking guns away isn't going to be the solution, because I feel like if we take guns away, people are still going to find, like with anything that's illegal, people are going to find a way to bring it in from a different country or like somehow have it or whatever. So, like, I feel like taking the guns away isn't the solution. I feel like it's part of the problem. And I feel like it could, like, maybe if we're stricter. I know, like, in California, the gun laws are a lot stricter than in other states. But I feel like if as a nation, like, we set, like, a precedent, because I feel like there really isn't, like, a federal precedent to, like, gun laws.
Yeah.
I feel like it's isn't it a state law?
Yeah, I mean, it's a state issue, but I mean, most things are state issues until unless the federal government really chases it and makes it their issue. But it's that there are common sense gun laws in place already. And then things like the gun show loop, like when we were talking, it doesn't exist. Like there is no gun show loophole. Like they still do a background check. They still do everything that's required. It's just because they're still registered. Like you still have to be a registered gun seller to be able to sell guns. Otherwise, that's illegal. So obviously unless they're selling it on a black market or just a friend to a friend selling a gun, that's different. But to sell at a gun show, you actually have to be registered to be able to sell firearms. But yeah, I mean, there's more guns than there are people. There are more items that can kill us in America
than there
are people to kill in America, which is insane to think about. But like I said, when we were talking, again, I'm just gonna stop saying when we were talking. But like I say, this is a gun issue, this is a mental health issue, and this is a people issue. There's just something that's been disconnected in our social media era where we're not talking to each other, where we feel more disconnected than ever, and we're not we almost see everyone else as an enemy instead of one united race of human. Because, like I said, this is a recent thing. We went through this. This is a recent thing. This didn't happen in the 70s. This is a male issue. There are no female mass shooters. And this is, like I said, this is a very American problem.
It's also a very, young person.
Yeah. It's also a young person thing. They've been fairly young, with the exception of, the Las Vegas shooter.
One. Yeah.
But, and then there's also something to be said, the meds that these people are on. A lot of these people are on the Vegas shooter was on an anti-anxiety medication. There are people on antidepressants. There's something to be said about. So it's a medical issue as well. It's also our pharmaceutical issue, our pill problem that we have in America. That that's how we solve things. Is boom, here's your prescription. Now go be a walking zombie. So you can't mess with people's chemicals in their brains like that because especially when they're already in a very delicate state, it's it's just disaster. And it's also, like I said, guns are in our culture. Guns are a very an American thing, and it's in
the Constitution.
Yeah, it's in the founding thing, and whether that you agree with. Whether that's an outdated document or whether that's something that we should stand on. It or not, guns are part of the American culture, and people always like to bring up Australia had guns and they had a crime problem, they got rid of guns, and now no shootings happen. Australia is also 4 cities.
Yeah, it's literally all desert.
It's literally 4 cities. Perth is just Perth. There's
literally
nothing.
I think it's
Perth.
called the most isolated city in the world or something.
Because there's nothing around it.
There's 2 people
there's
in Australia.
No
I've been
suburbs.
there. I know.
So it's literally 4 cities. The population in Australia, it's not small, but it's not 300 million. It's not what we're working with
for the size of the land that is Australia. The amount of people that live there is fairly small.
Yeah,
very small.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just an issue that we really have to talk about. But yeah, look at Australia. We can look at them to the thing, but also if we ban guns, we also still have over 300 million guns that we have to deal with after. How's that going to look? You're going to do registration? Okay, let's see how that goes. Also, the most gun deaths in America is through a handgun. So we ban automatic rifles. We're still going to the stats aren't going to go down. How many?
True.
And I know this seems almost closed-minded or not closed-minded, but I hate that. It seems almost insensitive But how many times a year do we have a mass shooting, and how many people are killed?
Too many.
Yeah, already too many, because there's deaths. But I'm saying just in a mathematical, like I said, this is going to sound insensitive, but in a mathematical, like, way of looking at things, it's like, let's say there are, it's still high, 70 people die from a mass shooting in a year in America. Okay, now divide that by 300 million. It's a very small percentage, but again, that's insensitive. One death is too many. But I think for the amount of population that we have, and not how different we all are, but like again, some people are meds, some people are on meds, some people are like, our culture is very different. Like I said, we're so disconnected. We're so easy to like bite instead of like actually.
We really are.
Yeah, we're so easy to bite at each other and attack each other instead of like actually talk with each other and like, you're another human, Jaime. Like, even though I disagree with you, like, it's okay. Like, I'm not going to call you a garbage person over the internet for having an opinion on something. And like I said, the opinions change. Like, people change. People have opinions. We're coming from one of the most diverse, the most diverse country in the world.
Yeah. And we live in one of the most diverse areas.
Yeah, exactly. And we have these tools to be able to talk to each other, and we don't. We just yell at each other over these tools.
Yeah. And that's one of the most like annoying, well, yeah, like aggravating things of like living in, like, now we've talked about this, how like we live in the greatest time to be alive, but also the worst. And I think it doesn't all go back to social media, but like social media plays a huge factor in this. I feel social media was like designed to like bring people together, but now it's just literally, you go on social media, everyone's attacked, alienated. If you like literally just not even having a different opinion, just your own opinion, you're like dead. Like, you're like ridiculed, you're like gone after, whatever a word for that is, but like you're like, I don't know, it's very like, we live in a time where people kind of force you to be open-minded, which is a very close-minded like way of thinking. My dad brought this up. I don't know if I talked about this last time, but
even if you did, don't worry about it. Just go on.
Like, my dad brought this up one time. We were talking about something. I don't remember what we were talking about, but I was like, no, you're wrong. You're being so close-minded. And then he goes, you're being close-minded. And I go, what the hell? Like, the social justice warrior that I was, like, whatever. Not that I don't care about social issues anymore, but I just don't like to associate myself with that, like,
look,
term,
there's nothing,
social justice warrior.
In theory, there's nothing wrong with social justice. Like, in its term, it's like you're caring about other people. It's a good thing. But it gets weaponized.
It does.
It's gotten weaponized.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously, I don't want to alienate anybody, and I don't want to exclude people. But at the same time, we're all so very different. We're not going to be able to please everybody. Like, we're not going to be. I'm not going to be able to speak to a certain audience. Like, there's just some people out there who aren't going to like me. That's okay.
Literally just based off appearance.
Yeah. They
won't listen to you.
Exactly. And I'm okay with that. Like, it's dumb. I think it's dumb, but it's like, it's fine. I'm not here to alienate you guys, but I'm here to speak my mind, and I'm here to live my life, and I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. At the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We want to be able to come home and relax and have a beer and just like, smoke.
Crack open a cold one with the boys.
Crack open a cold one with the boys. And be able to pay the bills and provide for our families. Like, at its core, we're all the same.
That's the American dream.
Yeah. I mean, it's just to be able to live the life that you want to live. And I commend that. There are people that I don't like, and there are people that live their lives the way I wouldn't live my life, but that's not my damn business.
That's true.
So it's like, we are so like I said, we weaponize it to where it's like I said, there's nothing wrong with social justice. There's nothing wrong with making sure everyone's included, but at the same time, you're not going to be able to include everybody. Like, that's just the reality. And I'm not saying like go out there and try to like make your clique. But at the same time, like I said, I'm just gonna have viewpoints some people aren't just gonna like agree with, and whether that alienates them. But again, alienates is a loose term, because like, all because you disagree with me doesn't mean I'm alienating you, because I'm still going to sit down across the table from you and have a discussion with you. Or I'm still, I'm not going to hate you as a person, but I feel like so many times we go, that's different opinion, or that's different thought than I have. I
You're the
hate
devil.
you. Yeah, you're a garbage person. And
Yeah.
that works for both ways too, because it's like people are going to be like, oh, Mikey has no problem with social justice. He's like a snowflake.
Yeah.
You know, he
You want me to point you
left.
to the closest safe area?
Yeah,
Safe zone.
exactly. So it's like you can't win either way. Like even being in the middle, you can't win because we've become teams. We've become football teams that are going at it, and it's
I just want to be a cheerleader.
I just someone make that a t-shirt. I just want to be a cheerleader.
That will be available on my Etsy shop.
Yeah.
I don't have an Etsy shop. I wish I did though. Actually, I do, but there's nothing on it, and I don't think I pay for it anymore.
You're slacking.
Yeah.
You have to pay for Etsy.
Yeah, like a service
That's where
fee
they
or
get you.
something.
That's where they
Yeah.
get you. So, but and then also another thing that I was saying is like it's almost like before the internet, we were almost like a very loud party. Like the United States was a very loud party. Like, you know, Texas and California were talking to each other, and like Texas is like, yeah, we love guns, and California is like, oh, you love art? I love art too. Like, you know, and then like when the internet like existed, it's almost like light switch on the party, and like everyone was able to see each other.
You're like, whoa.
And like how different everybody is.
When the lights come on at 2 a.m. at the club.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, what
whoa, what am I doing? Who am I with?
That Dave Chappelle joke.
Yeah. So it really is that. So it is like we're disconnected, and that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Let's just get connected for free with Education Connection.
but and then at the end of the day, it's like people are, like I said, we're all gonna have different perspectives. We're all coming from different places. You and me might not need a gun because we were very close. Like if we call the police, they're at least 30 minutes away. Even then, it's kind of touchy. And then like let's imagine if you're in Alabama, all the way out in the boondocks, and the nearest police station is like an hour away.
Yeah.
If something happens,
you can't wait.
You
for the
can't
cops
rely
to get
on
here.
the cops.
Yeah.
You just can't. And I'm not saying that's like a valid excuse, like this is why we should keep guns. But I mean that is a valid. It's a valid point. That is extremely valid because you want to protect your family. You're not going to sit around waiting for, first of all, the justice system, which is, look how good that's worked for us in the past, to come and prevail for you. You know, you sometimes you gotta take matters into your own hands, and sometimes you need to have that protection. Even saying that, like, you know, if someone breaks in and they hear that a shotgun like pump, they're either gonna fight or they're gonna run away. Mm-hmm. That's better odds than just 911. Like, be here
There's
in an
someone
hour.
in my house right now.
Yeah.
Can you come?
Yeah. So it's like that's about. And again, it's all like protecting livestock, things like that. And again, I know it's not like everyone, but we live in our coastal bubbles where it's like that's such a small percentage of people, but it's really not. Like it's a vast majority. Think about all the Midwest and how spread it out is, and how different their lives are from like the coastal like areas. So it's like we're all different. We're spread out between a huge landmass with all different lifestyles. So again, that's not going to include everybody. Like it's just not. Again, love people. Like don't hate. Don't be an asshole. But you have a different perspective. You're not evil. Like I don't think that should be a reason for you guys to like fight. Like even now, like, yeah, Trump's an asshole. There are people who voted for Trump. It's a good chunk of Trump voters are assholes, but I mean, like, I'm still not going to be like, I hate you for like that decision.
For the longest time, I was like, if I knew someone voted for Trump, they were dead to me. Like I could, anyone that wasn't voting for Bernie or Hillary, you were dead to me. Like I couldn't even stand like the sight of someone not voting for Hillary or Bernie or whatever. I was Bernie. I still am Bernie all the way. I still have a Bernie Sanders sticker on the back of my car, not only because I can't get it off, but also because I still stand behind Bernie over anything. But like I remember for the longest time, I was like, you voted for Trump, you're a garbage person. But then you can't. This is more of like an internal thing for me. Like, and I mean, this should be. I feel this is the way everyone should see things. But like, you can't. There's no possible way hate can beat hate. Like, you cannot like diminish hate by more hate. So like,
Creates more hate.
Yeah, it that's all it does. It makes more hate. You can't fight fire with fire. It just makes more fire.
Well, it's just like two like tribes back in the day that like hated each other and they went to war and they fought each other and people died.
They're all dead.
And then now generations after that, they're gonna hate that other tribe. Same thing.
Yeah. So like if I hear someone voted for Trump, I'm not gonna like hate them, but I do want to know like why they voted.
Yeah,
like
why
did you? And the same way goes like it's a two-way street. If a Trump supporter hears that I voted for Hillary, well, why did you vote for Hillary? Because Bernie wasn't on the ballot. But no. But like if like it's you know what I mean? It's like a two-way street. I don't know. If, like you voted for Gary Johnson, I voted for Hillary Clinton. Two different people. I should have voted for Gary Johnson. Really, like. Just like as a joke because he was hilarious. If y'all thought Trump was entertaining during this election, you were sleeping on Gary Johnson. He's literally a walking meme. He is the best. Like I had a roommate that was like obsessed with him. Like literally every day was something new that Gary Johnson said, and is my favorite thing in the world. My favorite thing he's ever done is he was like on a panel or something and someone was speaking about marijuana and then they were like, you're like more likely to have a heart attack 30 minutes after smoking weed than like ever. Like smoking weed increases your chance of getting a heart attack for like 30 minutes. And like he pretends to have a heart attack and falls on the floor.
And everyone's like, what is going on? And he's like, very funny senator.
It was like my favorite person. But like going back to what I was saying, like now so much I don't hate you if you say you voted for Trump, but I do want to know why you voted. Yeah, I'm curious. And I've noticed that there are some assholes some racist people that voted for Trump.
Absolutely.
Like what? And I do not disagree with that. And I don't agree with
that. If you're a Nazi, if you're a Klans member, like go fuck right. Like all right, like fuck out right. Like, that is a garbage person.
Literally set yourself on fire, not those burning crosses. Yeah. Like literally go die. But like a lot of people voted for Trump because he was going to create more jobs. How? I don't know how he's going to do it, but they believed in him that he was going to create more jobs. And that's a valid reason. A lot of people voted for Trump because of like economics, like money stuff.
Yeah. And even though it's like not like a proven thing or like, it's like, yeah, he said like, so like, I know a lot of people who vote like this. Yeah. Like, yeah, he's like said some messed up things, but like, they're just so disenfranchised with the current system that they're just like, look, he's either gonna blow it up, which he is, or
big time.
Yeah, like they're gonna have to reevaluate some things after this, or he's actually gonna do good. And I can't really blame him for that. Like I wouldn't vote for him, but I mean you can't blame him because some people is just like there's a good chunk of the country who felt like they just weren't being spoken to, and as dumb as he is and as like brash as he is and as narcissistic as he is, he spoke to those people. Because all these people really care about his jobs. Like I said, at the end of the day, we all want to come home and come to our families and be able to provide for them. It's the same thing. It's like that's what spoke to them. All the other stuff they couldn't care about because they want their coal job back. As ridiculous as that seems, yeah, they want their coal job back. They want their industry job back. So it's just like one of those things where it's like, I can't fault you for that. Like, you're voting your conscience. I'm not gonna, you're not full of hate. You're not doing it out of hate. You're not doing it because you want to send, you want all Mexicans to leave the country and you want to, have a white supremacy race in America. Like, if those aren't your things on it, I can't fault you for it. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not gonna fault someone for like voting Hillary either, as much as I dislike her. And as unpopular as this is, especially in this area and the industry that I'm going into, like I can't fault you for voting for Hillary either. Like, she was a terrible candidate, but again, she lines up with your views, and like again, I'm not going to fault you for that. But then at the same time, it's like there are garbage people on that side too. Like I said, there's
garbage people everywhere.
People are just garbage. And that's what I'm saying. We're getting too caught up in the weeds of the Republicans are garbage, or the Democrats are garbage, and like
I was gonna bring this up earlier when you're talking about Trump, but I'll bring it up now because it's so like relevant. Like Trump has said a lot of like inappropriate or like messed up things, but then again, who hasn't? He's just so unluckily, is that a word?
Unlucky.
That like
care.
It just so happened that like he's running for president and people heard him. I know if half the things
Look, yeah,
I said when I was 13 and now were like actually recorded, and like whether I meant them or not, like it would still like ruin me,
like,
or like
okay, sorry, go.
And like, so like I'm not like devaluing what he said, because he did say everything, and I'm pretty sure he meant almost everything that he said. So like, I don't know, I feel like everyone is a garbage person deep down inside. We're all horrible people and only care about ourselves, but like that's just human nature. And I don't think that makes you a horrible person, just caring about yourself. It does make you a horrible person if like I hate white people. Like that makes me a shitty person. Like why would I hate anyone? You know what I mean? So like, but yeah,
it reminds me of the Ralphie May stand up where it's like, look,
R.I.P.
It's R.I.P. real Ralphie May. It really is like a hate problem, like hates the problem. Like racism, like in the special against isn't like the problem. It's the hate that's the problem. Because like everyone, like I don't care who you are, like
everyone's
you
racist.
have a racist bone in your body.
Everyone's made fun of an accent. Everyone's made fun of
and that's
smell.
what I'm saying. Even you can be the most social justice warrior, whatever. You are racist, whether that's toward white people, whether that's when you're driving and you, like I said,
you
that's
can't
what
be
Ralphie May
racist
says.
towards white people. Just kidding. I hate that so much.
You can't. And again, it's not like
you can have.
It's not again. That's a dumb argument. Like you said, it's a dumb argument because you can't, because you're being racist. You're doing exactly the same thing, and all because they are the majority and they have the power, like doesn't make it not.
Like I can still, like I can't like systematically, or like I can't be racist towards you in the same way that you could be racist towards me, because you're in the position of power. But like I can still have those racist thoughts and those racist like feelings making me racist. If you, not saying obviously you're not racist, but well, everyone's racist, just kidding. But like if you like were like, oh, I don't hate Jaime because he's Mexican, but like, oh, what am I trying to say? I lost my train of thought. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
No.
Like if the role
No
if the roles were reversed, and like not even reversed, but like if you were like, oh, I'm a white person and I'm the majority, but like I'm not racist, but like you're racist, like,
oh yeah, those people that I'm not racist, but Mexicans are taking their jobs and you just send them back over the border.
You're racist. Yeah, exactly.
Because that's hateful, but like I feel like oppression and racism are different things.
Yes, exactly.
And they can be combined, and it could easily look like racism. But like I said, like Ralphie May said, it's the hate, because like we've all said something. And like I said, if every single one of you motherfuckers, including me, including Jaime, every single one of you motherfuckers watching or listening on iTunes, go subscribe now,
please.
If you had a camera on you 24/7, your life would be ruined.
100%.
Your life would be ruined. Just period. I don't care how PC you are. You have said something or have done something in a joking way. Like I said, there are things that you and me have said or done that it's just you and me trying to make each other laugh. But out of context of me like trying to get a reaction out of you to make you laugh, or you trying to do that to me, like if someone was just looking through the window and like saw what happened out of context, that's
we'd get beat the fuck up.
Not beat the fuck up, but like our lives would be ruined. Over. Like, yeah, and even like I said, it's just, even if it's one like little like passing thing, or like I said, the shock value of like trying to make you laugh, like just friends like trying to make you laugh, and then there's something about that, something about being offensive. There's something about being edgy that's like that's funny, but like I said, on Twitter it's easy to take out of context. Like on this video from if we did that, it's easy to clip out and like make you look like an asshole, make you look like a hateful asshole. But in reality, I don't wish harm upon anybody, even the people who hate me or like wish me bad. It's like Same. That's just not how I want them. I want you to succeed in life, because you succeeding in life it's gonna make you a better person. I'm sorry your life's shitty right now. Like call me a fat fuck in the comments right now. Like I'm talking to you. Like
he's talking to you 12-year-olds.
It gets better. Like don't worry. Like I'm sorry your life's shit right now. Like it's okay. Like it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, there's just it's hate to me where it really comes down to it. But
I agree.
yeah, and then I feel like that's like the gun problem. Like I said, I feel like we should look into like the mental health and do studies on there. And if you can show me hard evidence that like, hey, like, and actually do research and like non-biased, like actual research of like mental health, the time that we live in, like as a society, I really think we need to like do some deep dives into like why and like how we treat each other and how we act with each other and how we talk to each other. And then also studies that go into guns and like are guns the factor? And if you can show me hard evidence that guns are 100% the issue, I have no problem with getting rid of the guns.
Oh,
at all.
Fuera.
At all. If that is the hard evidence, you can't argue with facts. You just can't. And
if the glove does not fit,
you can't acquit.
You must acquit.
Oh, whatever.
It's okay. Whatever. Same thing.
Mm.
R.I.P. OJ. He's not dead or anything. He's not dead, right?
No.
I don't know sports.
OJ's not dead. He just got out of jail again, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he kill? Never mind.
Did he kill another?
Did he kill another wife?
That's so bad. But yeah, and that's the thing. It's like we like, I keep saying this, but we have to get better at talking with each other.
We do.
And it's one of those things where it's like, this is where we're at right now. And you said it yourself when we were talking. It is one of those things where it's like, I actually feel like a change is coming. Like, I really do feel like we're close to acting somewhat on it, whether it is just going to be out of no research whatsoever and we're just going to make a brash decision, or that like this is
because something feels different about this.
It does.
Specific.
It really does. And
like,
when you said that,
even like there were other ones where like they felt different, like the Orlando shooting. That one felt different from a lot of other shootings, but the Pulse nightclub shooting. That one felt different. And then like the elementary school,
the Sandy Hook.
Yeah, that one also felt different. But there's like this new like I feel like people are finally listening, or like finally wanting to listen. Yeah. And I feel like it's a mix of both, like victims being tired of it happening, or just like not even victims, but just like people being tired of this happening, and then like people actually wanting to listen now. And I feel like something is gonna come from this, and all these kids marching to City Hall isn't in vain. I wish I could remember that girl's name. It's
really hard to get high schoolers to leave school. It's really hard to get them to all organize and leave school.
Literally, I can almost guarantee you, if I would go to every high school today, be like, hey, we're leaving. They'd be like, all right, let's go. Like, they wouldn't even ask questions. You'd ask them, why are you marching? I don't know. I had a test in third period and I didn't study for it. But yeah, one time I donated blood in high school because I was going to donate blood, and then I set a time for like just any random time, and then I had I don't remember if it was a test, or I think it was an essay in one of my classes that I didn't want to do the day that the blood drive was going to be. So I switched my time to be the time of that class, so I wouldn't have to go to class and do whatever the assignment was and have another day to do it. And then I used that excuse for the rest of the day. Like, I had a theater class, and I was like, oh, I just got blood drawn, so I can't do anything. I feel faint still. I sat out for
You'll have like
everything.
A rag. That's funny. No, I think everyone kind of has that, like that story of like the thing that they did to always get out of school. And like I said, I think this is theirs. But again, good on you. Like, at least it's something that's politically charged somewhat. You're at least getting your feet wet on like of movement.
Dipping your toes in the water. Different. Never mind.
All right.
Next.
I see what I'm smelling your stuff in there. But yeah, and that also plays into something that we're talking about with like, is media an issue? Like, is media the issue? And I feel like this is the one that's most prevalent to this channel. Like video games, like I said, being a big issue. And my stance on it is yes, but not the media that you think. I think like the media plays a huge role in it. Like I said, blowing this guy up, showing his face, showing his name. Like there are studies that show that like they're like the copycat syndrome. And then there are studies that show that there are more people likely to do it after they see that, like, oh, basically you can get famous. Like I said, suicide, you can go and kill 20 people, kill yourself, and get famous, and that's what you'll be known for.
See, I've heard that, and then I don't remember if I read it or someone said it, like, thinking that, like, someone seeing all this, like, notoriety of the shooter is going to get them famous and them liking that. I don't know if I read it or someone said it. It was like, that would only happen to like a psychopath. Only a psychopath would see that and be like, I'm gonna be famous. But who's shooting? Psychopaths.
Incentivizing.
Yes.
That's an incentive to you. Like, you want to watch the world burn. Like, there are people out there who are fucking crazy.
Insane.
And
not like me insane, like actually insane.
So psychopaths are going to be psycho. When you see that, that's what they're going to do. And what I actually like, as much as people give the Daily Wire shit, which is a super conservative website, they actually stop publishing names of shooters and pictures of the shooters.
We should, yeah.
Which is like, yeah, I guess that's reporting. Your job as reporters to report all the information. But at the same time, it's like you still get the same effect without giving the name. Like, you can still get the details, like he was a blah, 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 who did blah, 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 who was on meds or whatever. Just leave out the name. Leave out the picture. Like, I feel like you can still get the same effect of the reporting without publishing the name. And that's another thing, is like during like the town hall gun control town halls, like for CNN, it's like they're rigging things now. And as much as I don't want to be like fake news, like there's a kid who wanted to read a question, and CNN ended up reading his question and then changing his question and being like, this is the question you have to ask. Is a town hall. They're scripting town halls.
That's too much.
Yeah, and they stacked it against it because, like, obviously it's like Marco Rubio going in, and again, like, I don't really like Marco Rubio, but like, in all fairness, like, CNN stacked that town hall against him, like all scripted questions, all, you know, unless it was like the question that they liked, and they're like, yeah, you can do that. We won't.
But then even that, it's like selective.
But like, if you're like against, like
reaction.
if you want gun control, or if there's certain things that you want to say, like arming teachers, like this kid did, stupid idea, but whatever. Like I said, it's an opinion. It's like, this kid's 18 years old. Like, what, did you have a good idea when you're 18 years old? No,
I don't have a good idea now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying.
What I'm
exactly. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you grow as a human being. Like, yeah, let him like ask the question. Like, but again, scripting it and then then it's just distrust. Like, already we're in this area where we distrust the media. Like, pretty much everything that you hear, I don't know who to trust. I don't know what the facts are. You know, it's this many people dead, or this many people dead, or this is the reason, or like I said, they stacked town halls where it's like pretty much the crowd cheered anytime he was like, what, do you want to ban guns? And everyone like cheered. And it's like, yeah, like I get that, but I really feel like you're stacking that room. You know, it's almost like, you know, like Ben Shapiro going to talk at Berkeley. Like, the room's already stacked against you. Like, that's the same thing. And like I said, with the publishing, everything, I feel like that media is the problem. But in your opinion, is media like video games, violent video games, violent movies, like, do they play a factor?
Well, I think they do, but not to the extent people think they do. And also, like, that could just be me being biased, kind of, and I'll explain that. Because when this first happened, I think I brought up that the Columbine shooting, a lot of the blame was put on Marilyn Manson because the two teenagers listened to Marilyn Manson. I love Marilyn Manson. He's like up there for me. But I don't want to go shoot a school. But also, I'm not a psychopath. So it's like... So like, I feel like to the right people, or the wrong people, I don't know, to the people, like, it's all of this is like creating the perfect storm, kind of. It's all very like, I don't know, to the right person, a video game could be like, you know what, I'm gonna go shoot this school. But I don't feel like video games are the entire blame. I
feel like that guy could have like gotten hit with an apple and be like,
I'm gonna kill
shoot up a school.
That's
like,
true.
I feel like that the video game is kind of like irrelevant in that, into where like,
and if you want to like blame video games or blame Marilyn Manson or blame whatever, like, you're using, okay, these people shot up this school and they listened to Marilyn Manson, they played Call of Duty, they like all these shooting games. I don't play video games. And they shot up a school. Okay, true, valid point. But also, how many people listen to Marilyn Manson? How many people play Call of Duty? How many people play Halo, whatever other shooting game? And how many of them don't shoot up a school or a mall or whatever? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like, if you want to look at video games and like scapegoat video games, like look at the other side of it. Like, you play a lot of video games. I don't think you've ever shot anyone. So it's like, I don't know. It's very like, it could very well be a factor in someone committing this type of crime or whatever. But I don't feel like it's the sole. Again, like I said earlier, I don't think there's one
like definitive issue.
Yeah, there's nothing we can like pinpoint and be like, this is the problem. Yeah. I feel like all of this, like everything, like creating a perfect storm, you have to have some kind of mental health issue, some access to guns, some influence from somewhere. And like that's what's going to cause someone to do this. You have to have some kind of like disconnection from society or feel alienated from society to want to do this. Was it the Columbine where they like shot people with like Nikes or something? Like the popular kids that were.
Yeah, it was something like that. I don't know. Yeah,
it's in the Foster the People song. All the other kids with the pumped up kids. Better run, outrun my gun. Dang. I love that song. But yeah, so it's like, it's all like, everything is very situational and very like, everyone wants to blame someone in this specific, or just in everything. But like in this specific issue, everyone wants to blame video games, Marilyn Manson, CNN, whatever. But I feel like it's not one person, one thing. It's everything. You know what I mean?
It's accumulation.
But yeah.
And again, I agree, but I agree. If you say video games are the issue and you believe video games are the issue, then music is an issue for you as well, and movies are the issue for you as well. Like, I don't want to hear that one thing is the issue, because if, like I said, if video games are the thing, it's also movies, it's also music, because we're all surrounded by it. And I feel like in America, like this has been talked about before, like this is an original thought, but like sexual behavior is taboo and violence is accepted. And then in other countries, it's sexual behavior is accepted, violence is taboo. Just in the sheer numbers of video games, like Grand Theft Auto, there are millions of copies sold. Millions. No, not a lot of people out there killing hookers, like, who played that game. And also, video games are not just in America. Like, Poland has video games. Australia has video games. But they censor their video games a little bit, but Japan has video games, the same video games. Everywhere has video games. So if that was really a correlation, then I think we would at least see one or two mass shootings in other countries, but we don't, other than like terrorist attacks.
My younger brother, biggest video game nerd I know other than you, had Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, other shooting games, Resident Evil, I think, like all these games. He, a teenager in high school. My brother so has to have some kind of mental health issue. Just kidding. He hasn't shot anyone. He hasn't shot. We do have a gun at home. Actually, my dad has one. And well, my dad has two. He has like one fake one and then one real one that doesn't bring out. But like I said, it's very like, you can't blame just video games. You can't blame, like, it has to be, or not it has to be, but it is multiple like factors going into this.
Yeah, and obviously. And
it's like a pizza.
If fucking video games give you a fucking sharp shot and make you a killer, then I should be fucking athletic from playing Madden. Like, if that's the correlations and that's how it works, then I should be in the NFL right now. Like,
you should be playing for the school's football team.
Exactly.
There's no football team.
But like that, like, it's a ridiculous correlation. Like, that's nonsense.
I should be a doctor from watching Grey's Anatomy.
Obviously, and then this is another thing I heard too, where it is like people are like, oh, well, it desensitizes you to like violence. Well, not really, because it's not real violence. There are people who actually go to war and they're actually desensitized to violence.
They're fucked.
Exactly. So I feel like if you like see a real murder, you react very differently, even if you played hours of Call of Duty. And there's like a one story like a couple years ago that I heard where it's like, this shooter learned how to shoot on Call of Duty. It's like bullshit. Like, you can't train to learn to shoot on Call of Duty. It just doesn't work like that. It's like if I trained to play like I said, football in Madden. Like, that is if I went to Ohio State right now and I walked onto their field and I went, hey guys, I'm fucking all Madden.
I've had every Madden game since it started.
Yeah, put me on the team.
Like,
they're gonna laugh in my face. It's the same thing.
I make this joke all the time. I watched 5 YouTube videos, so I'm a pro. Obviously a joke, but like, I'm not a pro. Like, I have a piercing kit and I've watched 5 piercing videos. Look how fucked my ear is. Like, there's 12 holes in it right now.
We get so all because you get to physically do something innovative. Our feet just touched. It was magical. But all because you physically get to like do something in a video game does not make you able to do that thing. It's just not real. And like I said, I feel like we're scapegoating things to avoid the actual issue because the actual issue is tough to solve. And like I said, the NRA, the like big lobby, but then I feel like they're just people who just don't understand things. And I feel like that's America's biggest fault is when we don't understand things. I feel like there's a lot of people on the left that just don't like, why would you need a gun? Well, like we talked about it earlier.
Listen, Linda.
There's a couple reasons that you need a gun. You might not necessarily don't need a gun. Don't get a gun.
That's like with everything. If you don't agree, don't do it. Don't get it.
Yeah, just don't get it and live your life the way you want to live.
I was gonna say this, but I don't think it's like not appropriate. But like, let people do whatever they want to do as long as they're not hurting anyone. People are being hurt with guns, but it's kind of like related but not related, because like.
But at the same time, you could say that with like driving though. Like if you don't want to drive, don't drive. Like if you're afraid of getting in a car accident, don't drive. But like car accidents are still happening.
That's true.
Like it's the same thing where it is like, look, obviously, yeah, you're not gonna be able to kill 50 people with a knife. You're still fucked up. Like we still got to figure out what's going on with you. Like all because you can't kill 50 people with a knife, like there's still an issue with you. You would still stab a motherfucker. Like, let's figure out why you'll stab a motherfucker.
If someone really was to the point where they wanted to kill people, I feel like they would find a way to do it with or without a gun.
That Vegas shooter, let me tell you, he had the resources and he was wide enough to be able to get his hands on a black market, like, semi-automatic rifle if he wanted to.
So, like, I forgot what I was saying. Whatever. But, yeah.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, we really got to dig deep and, like, how, like, what's the solution? Well, I feel like research is the solution right now. I feel like we really have to rely on science and rely on reliable studies on like what's going on. Like I said, we're going to do a gun registry. We're going to do like, you know, we're taking away guns because that's awesome because like I said, those guns have to go somewhere. Not everyone's going to turn their gun in. And again, if people really like gang members really wanted guns, they're going to get their hands on guns. And like I said, gang members aren't even really the issue here. It's just normal people who are psychologically fucked up somehow. And why are they fucked up? We gotta look into it. Is it video games? I don't think it's video games.
I don't either. Or not solely video games, but
like I said, I think there's like, I don't know, just tons of examples that like all because necessarily you're watching something doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna do that. I watch a lot of superhero movies. I'm not a fucking superhero. Like I don't want to go fucking be a superhero.
You're a superhero to me.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, baby. But yeah, it's just one of those things. And again, I'm sure we're rambling on and like just kind of going in a circle of like what the issue is. But I feel like again, not many people are sitting down and actually having an honest discussion. A lot of people are sitting down and be like, how can we get rid of guns, or how can we give teachers guns? Like
back to what you were saying about research. Like there should be research on like higher like levels, but also like I'm very guilty of this. But I feel like now everyone just goes on what they see on Twitter or what they see on World Star, or like no one actually. A lot of people don't actually put in the actual effort to find the facts.
They read the headline, don't read the
article.
It's
so easy to hit retweet or to like quote a tweet and be like, oh hell yeah, true, or like so you know, like yeah. So, like, I feel like we should also be doing, like, our own research to, like, not so everyone is so quick to read a headline and not the article and, like, just scapegoat something or, like, blame something. And I'm very guilty of doing that. I do that all the time. I've sent you tweets where I'm like, oh, blah, 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 and then, like, I read them again and I'm like, oh, that's not what I, like, meant to send. There was one recently. I don't think you caught it, but, like, I did do that. But, like, yeah, so, like, there should be research done on like what the issue is, but like also we should be researching on like what's actually going on, because I feel like now with this goes back to like social media, we're not like, again, we're like connected to everyone, but we're also very disconnected, and like we don't really like we don't have the time to listen, or we don't think we have the time to like actually care. And it's in a Logic song, Killing Spree. Oh, how, like, it's semi-related. But like everyone, like, he talks about how like everyone's just like, oh my God, oh, what's the lyric? Basically, he's saying that like we're so quick to like hit retweet or like hit a like, but no one's actually doing anything about the problem. No one really cares about the problem. It's all very superficial. It's all about like,
how do I look to my audience?
How am I going to look to my followers? Which I'm very guilty of that. You know, I only care about what people think about, like what I post on Instagram, whatever. Yeah. So it's like, we kind of need to fix that, or like look into that also, how like everything is so superficial now and everything is so surface right now. We don't like care. Even if we pretend to care by retweeting something or liking something care. Or like forming our own opinions in a tweet, like we don't care. We can't. Not that we can't care, but like we don't want to find the time to. And even if whether we're doing it consciously or subconsciously, like we don't care.
Yeah, I agree. Like you can act like you care all you want. You don't. You're not in there. You're not in Africa, and you're not like aiding these people. You're in your bedroom, on your phone, on your computer,
on the toilet, hitting
retweet. Same thing that you've been doing all along. It's like, I don't want to hear how you care if you're not actually doing anything. Yeah, March is cool, but that's not making the change. Like, there are bigger things that you could be doing. Again, I'm not saying protesting is like doesn't do anything, but like going to march, it's like, okay, there's a good extent of that, but there's also action that has to be followed behind that too. Like,
it's good to create like a buzz with a march or like get people to pay attention, but like there needs to be like a follow-up.
If Martin Luther King only marched, there'd be no action.
None.
Like, if all he did was march, then there wouldn't be like the civil rights movement. There's more to than just the marching.
And not saying that people aren't doing anything, but I feel like now going back to like everything being so surface, a lot of it stops at the marching, just so you can get the Instagram picture of you holding up the sign, ban guns. So like, I don't know. I know, like, I'm thinking to like pictures and images I saw of like the march. So like high school students really can't do anything, but like they can still create the buzz. And then I feel, not that it's up to us, but like it's up to the people that are actually paying attention to like do something about it. Be like, hey, these kids feel this way. These kids feel unsafe in their schools because people are coming up with guns and shooting everyone. What are we going to do to fix this? And that goes back to what we were like this hour-long podcast we were just talking about. But like, yeah, I feel like we need to go beyond just the marching because everything is so superficial, surface level that, okay, I'm going to march. What are you going to do after the march? What are you marching for exactly? Like, what's the goal? Like, why are you marching really? And you can, like, you know, you asked one of those kids that marched today, why are you marching? Oh, I'm marching because I don't feel safe in my school, and I want stricter gun laws.
They have one thing that they're marching for. They have like a set, like, this is why I'm marching.
But how are you going to like reach that? You know what I mean? So like it's good to have a plan, and like you should have, if you're marching, know what you're marching for, but then how you're going to attain it also. Like, it can't just stop at the Instagram post and like guns are bad. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and that was my favorite thing too, is like at the first women's march, you asked them what you were marching for, and they each had like 10 different answers.
For like, women of all species, the chickens.
You got it.
You can't call yourself a feminist if you're not vegan.
I hate Twitter.
Okay?
I hate Twitter.
So I'm not a feminist anymore.
I hate
Goodbye.
Twitter, man. No, I really do think that like having focus is good. Going out and march. I support you. Go and march. Whatever is you're marching, go and march.
Exercise your right to protest.
Exactly. Go, like I'm saying, that's very important. I'm not saying that's like useless, but it's what you do, like you said, beyond the march, and it's what you're doing to actually make the change. And it's like, I know people who like protested for like stop Walmart. They're coming in. They're killing all the mom and pop shops, and then they're making their sign.
You're still shopping there, Linda.
Where did you get the materials for your sign? And they say Walmart.
I was watching some show with someone about Walmart, and then they were like, "Ugh, I hate Walmart. It's so disgusting how they treat their employees, how they treat the people, like blah 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 blah." And then we were with someone else, and then they were like, "You were just at Walmart," and then she was like, "Well, yeah, the prices are really good, and you can't beat them." Yeah. So like, I get like the feeling of hating Walmart because I also not. I mean, I love Walmart. Like, you can find everything at Walmart. If you need tires for your car, milk, and a new outfit, and some freaking incense,
and a TV,
right, it's all there. If you want to fish with an aquarium, got it there too. Like, you can buy everything at Walmart. That's why I love Walmart. But also, it is a little bit unfair how they treat. Well, not a little bit, very unfair how they treat like the factory workers. Did you know?
Even
I learned
employees.
Even the employees. My cousin used to work for Walmart, and she hated it. My mom wanted me to work at Walmart, and I'm like, Mom, I'm not 40 and I have all my teeth. Just kidding.
Joke, people. It's all jokes.
Comedy.
It's all jokes.
Literally, when Joan Rivers died, comedy died with her. Like that. Literally, Joan Rivers was like the last person that, like, didn't care. Because like even now, comedians that don't care, they still kind of have to watch. What
I
they
don't
say.
know, man.
I don't know.
I
mean,
feel like
you're a lot more
into I feel like
comedy than I am.
than it's ever been right now, and I feel like there's tons of comedians who don't give a fuck.
I don't know. I feel like I feel like now, even if you don't give a fuck, you kind of have to defend yourself when you don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Joan Rivers didn't.
Yeah.
She literally, if someone was like, "Oh, that offended," she'd be like, "Fuck you. I'm still doing this." Joan Rivers, and I mean, I feel like a lot of comedians have like a no apology like policy. Like, they're not gonna apologize. And I feel like, I don't know. Also, I feel like comedy is the only place to be insensitive. Because I feel like the only way to like get over something is to laugh at it. Like, not get over it, but like to cope with something or like to deal with something is to laugh at it. That's how I've dealt with. That's where I developed my sense of humor, because I come from a troubled childhood and troubled past. Just kidding. But like, I didn't have the funnest like adolescent years or like the funnest childhood or whatever.
Life growing up.
And I mean, neither one of us really did. But like, and we found like, I mean, for me it was music and then comedy. Also for you it was video games and comedy. So it's like, I feel like comedy is like a way to like heal yourself, kind of. And like that goes with like anything really. But like, yeah, I don't know. R.I.P. Joan Rivers though.
No, like I said, Joan Rivers is a fucking G. And
she really is.
Like I said, I do feel like there are comedians that have the no like apology like policy. Joey Diaz.
Joey Diaz.
Tom Segura
doesn't give a fuck.
And then Rafi May, like they are all in Ari Shaffir. Like there are a lot of comedians who like will not apologize for joke. Dave Chappelle. Like Dave Chappelle does not give a fuck. Like he'll talk about like when like the whole shit went down with his first like the outrage that happened with his first Netflix special. He talked about it in the second one, but he didn't apologize. He just cleared the air. And I feel like there are like I said, comedy's bigger than ever. And I feel like there are a lot of people who are like very like not apologizing for anything. We're still gonna do the joke. Tom Segura still makes fun of Louisiana like as much as people
build the wall around Louisiana. Get Britney Spears out first.
It's hilarious. So it's like it really is one of those things where it's like what we're in a weird time because there's backlash, there's polling on both sides, and we're just gonna be stretched thinner and thinner and thinner. And like you said, I feel like comedy is that good way that we can all we all need to be able to laugh at ourselves. Like you said with the Walmart joke, there's someone who's like, I work at Walmart and I'm very offended.
I have all my teeth and I'm 37.
That is so close-minded of you. How dare you? But I feel like there is like again, this is a joke. We all just need to chill out. Like, you know, like I heard someone make like they're just jokes that it's fine. Like in a joking matter, I always say this and I ramble on about this. Like in comedy, I feel like there's all things are like. All things are fair. Like I said, I just living with me, you've noticed, like, I joke about my dad a lot. Like, it's a funny thing. Like, I make fucked up, like, dark jokes that, like, shouldn't be funny, but they're funny. It's like, that's how you laugh at it. Like, you see someone who's, like, actually lived it, who's making fun of it, like it's okay. Like, it's okay to laugh at things.
I'm dying up here. We should watch that, by the way. In that first episode, they finally let her perform on like the main stage, and then like she just like starts crying and talks about how like the guy she loved was just killed, and everyone's like, what the hell is she doing? But it turns out like amazing. And obviously it's a scripted TV show, but like comedy, like you're saying, comedy only works if you're like being raw and like vulnerable to the audience. And I've learned that as I've been like trying to write like a stand-up like set like 5 minutes, like the jokes that are funniest to people are the ones that like I've actually lived and like is something like real. Like, and you can tell when someone's being genuine, and you can tell when someone is like you don't like Amy Schumer. Not a secret. And I think Amy Schumer is funny, but I feel like Amy Schumer is funny on like a superficial level. I feel like a lot of her jokes are, one, stolen.
She
and
is
two,
a
like,
network TV show.
She is. She's
like,
a
it's scripted.
Great like sitcom writer. I feel like she's great for that. But like, I don't know. I feel like her jokes don't have a lot of substance to them versus someone like.
She never lived them.
Huh?
So maybe she never lived her jokes.
Versus someone like Joan Rivers. A lot of her jokes. She had this joke about how she lost her entire family at Auschwitz. They were on a different bus, and then she like. That's my favorite joke. And then like, so like jokes that are like raw and should be like inappropriate and like you shouldn't laugh at them are the funniest jokes, because like if you've lived it and you're up there telling jokes about your dad, someone in the audience is like, oh shit, like, but like they see you like laughing at it, it's an okay to laugh at them. And then someone has same or similar like issues, are like, oh well, like someone up there's laughing at it, why don't I laugh at it? So it's like, it's very like I don't know what the word is, but like, you know what I mean? It's very...
No, I know exactly what you're saying, because it's the same thing as like either it's on a stage or comedy, or it's like us here talking on the podcast. Like there are things that you've gone through that when you talk about them, that there's someone out there who that's going to connect with. And that's why being raw and like up on stage and just like vulnerable, that's why it's so good. Is because you connect on a human level, which we don't get in real life. We don't get that on Twitter, and that's why you get that in comedy. That's why you get that on podcasts. That's why you get that in certain formats, because like obviously a network CNN talk show, they're not raw, they're not like, they're so scripted and phony, and like it's just so fake. And then that's why people listen to like podcasts, and that's why people like comedy. It's because you connect on a certain level. Like me being able to joke about like my shitty upbringing and like my like daddy issues, like there's someone out there like you said, they see that I'm laughing at it, and like it doesn't affect me, it doesn't hurt me. Like you can throw, again, you know this at me more than anybody, you can throw whatever at me, I'm gonna laugh. Like it's funny to me. Like I just like laughing. I feel like just a lot people just need weed. Like everyone just needs to chill out. Like it's
Amen.
Okay. Like again, I'm not like an avid weed smoker, but like everyone just needs to mellow
roll
out.
up a doobie and chill.
And just chill, because it's like it really needs people. And like I said, instead
of supplying every classroom with a gun, we need to supply every classroom in America
with bong.
A bong.
Oh God.
Let's make that happen.
Make America high again.
Make America high again.
Not even support it, but if it gets some of these people to like loosen up, Godspeed.
Don't even use weed. Just loosen up, Linda.
For real.
I don't know who Linda is, but I feel like she's uptight.
We're calling you out, Linda.
We're calling you out, Linda.
But yeah, and like you said, that is what makes it so genuine, is because you're being raw.
Raw is law.
Raw is law. And it's like I'm glad like one day like I'll be able to like tell like the full story of what happened, and people see how like of like my childhood, and people see how like chill I am about it, and how much like I don't think about it. Like that's not like the first thing. Like I have way bigger thoughts, like way bigger problems in my head than I do of the past, and like the things that have happened. And like it's like the whole conception of like if you're white you don't know like struggle, where well
you're a straight cisgender white male, so
I don't know struggle.
Don't know any adversity.
I just had a mom who like single mom who like makes like $17,000 a year and then was raising 6 kids on it. Man, I don't know.
But you're a white cisgender male.
Oh yeah.
So you cannot.
Absolutely, I cannot.
You don't know what struggle is at all.
Yeah. So it's like, and that's the thing. That's the disconnection there. It's like we're so disconnected. Again, going in circles, but it's like just understand. Just be better.
Just open your mind.
Open your mind.
I was trying to make a Madonna reference, but I don't want to continue the lyric. And I think it's open your heart, not open your mind. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah. No. It comes down. Just be better out there. Just be better to each other. Try to see.
Don't be garbage.
Be empathetic. Try to really put yourself in other people's shoes and just see where it is, like where they're coming from. Like people are different. Just be better to each other.
And even if even if you can't empathize with someone or can't accept someone else's point of view, keep your shitty opinion to yourself. Yeah.
Well, no, even if you try to empathize and you just still like, you know what, I really still don't agree with them.
Let me live my life.
That's
fine. And I'll let you live your life.
That's fine. Like that's okay. They're gonna have disagreements. We're 300 million people of different races, religions, ethnicities. Like it's gonna happen. Just like I said, be better. And on that note, Jaime, this is completely consensual. Episode 7.
Yee.
Like us on YouTube, on Facebook, on the Twitters. Follow us at CTG Vids. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. That is the most important thing. Hit that notification button on YouTube, the bell. And like I said, leave a review. It really helps us jump into the comments. I like talking with you guys, having a discussion. What do you think? What do you think the issue is? Don't turn this into a flame war. We're not here to like be mad at each other, but like genuinely, like what's your opinion? Where are you from? Like what's your background with guns? Do you like guns? Do you not like guns? Is video games the problem? Like what's your issue? Let's have a conversation down below. Jaime, they can follow you at
hotcheeto.papi at Instagram, Papi de Hot Cheeto on Twitter, Hot Cheeto Papi on YouTube. And if you see me IRL, say what's up.
Say what's up. Say what's up to your boy. Holla at your boy.
Yes.
And then you can follow me at Cheeks Jr. on Twitter. And that's pretty much the only place I want people following me. And then, of course, here on Chip Tooth Gaming.
Subscribe on iTunes.
Until next time, players, this is completely consensual. And until next time, this is Chip Tooth Gaming.